Hello, my name is Naomi, and today I will be teaching you how to crochet. In today's video, you will be learning how to slip knot, how to chain, and how to single crochet. Those three things you'll be learning today. Are you ready? Let's start. To begin, you'll need some yarn. Yarn that looks like this, preferably a weight for acrylic yarn. You can find it at Michael's. You can find it on yarnspirations.com. You can find it on premieryarns.com. You can find it on lionbrandsyarn.com. But all you need is some simple acrylic yarn. Next, you will need a 5mm hook. Ooh, focus, please. A 5mm hook. I have this Susan Bates inline crochet hook that looks something like this. And you'll need some scissors. All right. So, first, number one, how to slip knot. You begin every crochet project with a slip knot, and it looks something like this. There are a couple ways on doing it, but I'll show you the first one. You want to take the yarn. I like to pull from the center if there's a center pull, but if there's not, you can pull from the loose end that's wrapped around the yarn. And you want to take the yarn like this, wrap it around 2 fingers, like so. There should be an X in the middle. You're going to hold it, remove your fingers, reach down like this, grab the working yarn. So this right here is the working yarn. Anything that's attached to the yarn ball is the working yarn. You're going to take this loop here that you made, grab the working yarn, pull through, and that is a slip knot. I'll show you one more time. You can rewind and play it back as many times as you need to. Take your yarn, wrap it around 2 fingers. It should make an X. Pull it off of your 2 fingers, hold in the middle to create a loop. Grab the working yarn from inside the loop and pull it through. Just like that. That is your slip knot. Now, to start, you're going to insert your hook into the loop. Pull. You're going to pull the working yarn, okay? This is the tail. We call that the tail. This is the working yarn. You're going to pull the working yarn to tighten the yarn around your hook, okay? Don't pull it too tight. You want to pull it so that the yarn still moves up and down the hook like that, okay? Now, holding your hook. This is how I hold it. This is the only way I hold it. There are different yarn, different crocheters who hold their hooks differently. One way to hold it is a pencil grip. I do not like the pencil grip because it feels weird. Okay. The second way to hold it is called the overhand. I can't say the other way they describe it on YouTube because I'll get flagged. But it's called overhand. Okay, your hand goes directly over the hook like this. Okay, this is how I typically hold my hook. My thumb rests somewhere along here. I don't typically do the thumb rest because it feels weird. I hold it below the thumb rest, but that's just me. And my pointer finger kind of stays on the thumb rest to kind of hold and adjust whatever is on my hook at the time. Ooh, this is so. Now that we have a way to hold our hook, we're going to hold our yarn with the opposite hand that we're holding our hook in. I'm a right-handed crocheter. There are some left-handed crocheters. I'll link them in the description below, and you can probably watch them if you're left-handed. But I'm a right-handed crocheter, so I'll be showing you how to do it with the right hand. Okay? So you hold your hook with the right hand like this. You hold your yarn like this. Now, watch very closely. I'm going to zoom out for you. Okay. Watch what I do. All right? The tail of your yarn is going to be held like this. Okay? This pointer finger right here is very important. You're going to wrap it underneath what you're holding. Okay? This creates tension. This helps the yarn to glide. It helps you wrap the yarn around the hook. So you have to have this position. Okay? Next, I like to hold the tail between my middle finger and my thumb. When I teach kids or like teens, I call it the clock it position. Okay? If ever you get lost, you want to clock it. Okay? Just like that. This is important because as you're working, you're going to be using the same position to hold the chain, hold the next row, and so on and so forth. All right, you got it? Good. Now, let's crochet. Okay. So, pointer finger underneath the yarn, gripping the working yarn like so, clocking the tail. Okay. First things first. You are going to wrap your yarn, your hook, your yarn. Yes. You're going to wrap your yarn around the hook just like that. Very simple. Kind of scooch up a little bit. Okay, so you can get your tension right. Now, this is the hard part, even though it looks easy. You are sliding your hook down. That hook is going to catch the yarn, and you're going to slide it through the hole, just like that. You're not going to grip really tight on your yarn. You're not going to choke your hook like this. Everything's very gentle. Everything's very smooth. Okay? Watch this again. Wrap your hook. Wrap your yarn around your hook. Okay? The yarn should sit right in front. Slide the hook down the yarn. Slide the yarn down the hook. Yeah. Make sure that the hook is catching your working yarn. And you're going to pull through the hole. Bam. One more time. Wrap around. They call it yarn over. Slide. Yarn over. Slide. Move it a little bit closer. Yarn over. And slide. Just like that. And now you have your chain. Let's chain until we get about 24, and then we'll come back. Okay, we're back, and we have 24 chains. I'll zoom out for you so you can see. We have 24 chains right here, and it should look just like that. If it's twisted, frog it and try again. And it's okay to have to try again. We're learning, okay? Now, once you have your chain, next step is learning how to single crochet. This is the foundation stitch, the stitch you need to know. You can make anything with this stitch. You can make hats with this stitch. It is the foundation for amigurumi. You can make all types of garments with this stitch, sweaters, pants, everything with this stitch. Okay, are you ready? All right, let's zoom in just a tad more. All right, now when you are making a single crochet, you are not going to insert your hook into the first, this is called the first chain from the hook. You're not going to do that. Why? Because you're going to unravel it. You're going to skip the first chain right off the hook and go into the second chain off the hook. Okay? You're going to insert your hook into the top loop of that chain. Insert it right in there. You're going to yarn over, and when you insert your yarn, if your hand positioning is right, should already be in position. Let me zoom out just a little bit. If your hand position is right, your yarn should already be in position right on top of that hook. Okay? You're going to slide the hook down, making sure that working yarn is grabbing underneath the hook. You're going to pull it through the top of the chain. You should have 2 loops on your hook. If you don't have 2 loops on your hook, take your hook out and try again. All right? Now, you're going to yarn over. Yarn over means that your yarn should be over your hook. You're going to yarn over. You're going to slide down again and pull through both of the loops that are on your hook. And there should be 1 loop left on your hook. That is your first single crochet. Let's try it again. In the next chain, right underneath that top loop, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You should have 2. Yarn over again, pull through both, and now you have 1. I'll show you one more time. Insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now y'all see how I'm using my pointer finger here to kind of guide this yarn so it doesn't go all over the place? The hand position is very important. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And now you're going to complete that all the way to the end of the row. Okay, we're back. If you have gone to the end of the row and your work looks something like this, you are in a good position. I have left the last 3 chains to finish off with you. So let's finish off. All right. So we're inserting our hook. Bam. Bam. Wham. Bam. Thank you, ma'am. This is cheap yarn, so it's splitting right now. This here is the last chain. Okay? The last chain. We don't want to miss this chain. If not, our stitch count will be off and your work will look weird. We don't want that. Insert your hook. Pull through. Yarn over. Pull through. All right. Now that you're done and you've completed your first row, this is row number 1. Now that you've completed your first row, you are going to chain 1. Remember how to do that? A simple chain 1. Bam. Turn your work. You flip it that way. Okay? With a single crochet, you can, let me turn it this way so you can see. You can go right into the first stitch right here. Okay? So you're going to insert your hook right underneath 2 loops of the row, like that. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. You started your second row. Insert your hook, insert it again. I'm gonna hold it a different way. Zoom in a little bit more. Insert. Insert. Make sure when you're inserting your hook goes underneath both loops. Okay? If it only goes underneath one loop, you are doing something different. You're not doing anything wrong, but just something different. Okay? That's called a front loop or a back loop crochet, and we're not there yet. Okay? So don't do that yet. All right, make sure your hook goes underneath both loops, and you're going to pull and pull. And you're going to continue all the way. I'm going to speed up just a little bit. You're going to continue all the way down your row, like so. And the more you do it, the more you practice, the smoother your stitches will be. You'll find a rhythm. Did I do something wrong? Yes, I did. Ooh. See, you got to pay attention. Let me slow down a little bit. Maybe I'm going too fast for myself. There. I'll zoom out so you can see my flow. Okay. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to come back when I'm at my last 3 stitches. All right, y'all. We have made it to the last 3 stitches. The last 3. All right. So you're going to insert your hook. Make sure you're underneath 2 loops of your first row. Slide through. Slide through. Insert. Slide through. Slide through. Now, if you think that you have reached the end of your row and you still got this little, I don't know, what do we call it? I'm going to call it a chicken joint. You got this chicken joint right here at the end of the work. That means you are not done. And if you don't go into that last stitch, your stitch counts will be off. Your work will start going like a triangle, and we don't want that. Okay? So I'm going to zoom in for you as close as I can. All right? This is kind of hard, but we're going to do it. You see right there is where that chain 1 was? Right there. Okay? You're going to insert your hook like that. Okay? Try your best to get both loops on there. This is cheap yarn, so it's going to be kind of difficult, but here we go. All right. Once it's on there, you're going to simply single crochet like normal, like that. And that is how you know you are done with the row. There should be a seamless, as seamless as possible, because it can get kind of bumpy, but a seamless edge all the way up your work. Okay? And that is how to single crochet. You do the same process for as long as you wanted to. All right? You can do 24 rows up, make a square. That could be a nice little coaster. You can make it very long, maybe about, I don't know, 42, maybe about 60 inches. Make yourself a little scarf, okay? But this is how you do it. Now that everything is done, you want to release your hook like this. Oh, wait, sorry. There's two ways. You can release your hook like this, snip here, and pull it out, and then weave in your ends. Or you can do, which I like to do because it makes everything secure, you can do one more chain here, take your scissors, snip. Make sure it's a long tail when you snip because you're going to have to weave it in at the end. Release, pull it tight so it doesn't slip out. Okay? And then take your needle. Forgot to include that you are going to need a needle. Your needle that we talked about in my very first video, all the things that you'll ever need ever to start. You're going to insert the yarn into the eye of the tapestry needle. And you're going to weave in your end. I like to go like this, like that. Weave it in so nothing's loose. Okay. Like that. Snip it again. Close to the body of the work, but not too close that it starts to slip out. Okay. And do the same thing to the tail. And you're done. Thank you for learning with me. Thank you for allowing me to teach you. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Love you loads. Bye.